Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, what I'd like to do is to create videos that I would have found helpful when I first got out treasure hunting. Today's video is a package from an online auction. Now, this particular package is kind of funny because I don't know what the United States Parcel Service was doing, but this went from Arizona, and then it for some reason went to Georgia. And then from Georgia, it went to Colorado. And then from Colorado, it went to, let me remember. It went from Colorado, and it went to Reno, Nevada. Then it went to Sacramento, California. Then it went up to Washington State. And then it went to Idaho. And then it went to Montana. Finally from there. And I don't really know what was happening other than to say there was some serious confusion involved in where this package was supposed to go. But it did arrive. I was starting to think it wouldn't. But it looks like we have a bunch of pins. Now, when I'm buying these online, one of my main rules is to make sure there's at least one thing in there that I'm really quite excited about. And that there's a whole bunch of extra things to make sure that I can be lucky in case that one thing isn't what I hoped for. So we'll see if we could pick out why I probably thought that might have been gold. But we'll see. Oh, that looks good. Let's have a look here. All right. Zoom in. There we go. So we have all sorts of stuff. Looks like Elks National Convention. I wonder if it says what year it was. World's largest convention hall, Atlantic City. Ooh, July 1930. These things are just cool. Just a few years back, that one. Oh yeah, this was the reason I bought this. So I found a lot of these pins, and if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know these school pins. They have a little guard pin, and then there's a school pin. Now, most of the time they're gold fill. Sometimes they're sterling, and then they can be gold in not infrequent amount of time. But what I had never found was one on the original card, which I thought was really cool. And my hope was that this one would turn out to be gold. It's looking pretty good, but seeing as it's on the original card, I'm guessing that the reason it looks really good is because it was never used. It's probably going to be gold fill, but we'll see. What do you know? Look at that. Right off the bat, we've got a 10 karat pin. So, wow. All right, that is not what I expected. I was expecting this to be gold fill, but you know what? It was not. So for those keeping track, I paid $45 for this auction. Let's see, what is this? I'm not sure. It says C. Oh, there it is, 1956. And then, of course, our guard pin is 1956. So whatever this school was, I will keep it off of the card here for a second. We'll weigh it up. But that's a real good example of one of these that is gold. Sometimes they're not marked as 10 karat, but that's really what they look like, even when they're not marked. Wow, we are doing great on this auction. All right, let me see if I can. There we go. Sorry, my phone is mounted on something, and that was kind of rocking back and forth. So we're going to pull this off here real quick. We'll set this aside, and we will have a look. Sometimes the guard pins are also marked. Sometimes they're not, but I think this guard pin is definitely also, as you can see here, 10 karat. Cool. Well, we're already set, I think. I think we've already had a good lot. Let's see what other fun things are in here. So these are sometimes sterling. I've only ever seen them be sterling when they're marked as such. So I know there's some military pin collectors on here. They can tell me if I should test that to see if it's sterling, even though it doesn't say anything. Boy, that is dirty, though. We should maybe give that a wash. I don't see any mark on that that says it's sterling. Ohio All-Star Wrestling Team. TLP Juvenile Temple. I have to look that one up. I don't know what that is. American Legion. Maybe gold fill? No, I don't think so. Nope. That one's just plate. I think this was one of the other ones that I potentially thought might be gold. Let's see here. What do we got? We've got Order of the Eastern Star. Member for 50 years. What do we think? Looks like plate to me. I don't know. Leave a comment if you think we should actually do a test on that. And if there's other stuff to test here, we'll bust out the test acid anyways. Ooh. HJH. Probably fill. Gold fill, maybe? No. That's just the maker. Kurama, maybe? You see where it had a guard pin at one point, but I think that's probably just brass or plate, that one. We got the here. That looks very much like plate. Let's see if there's any markings. No. So this looks like a little guard pin. So you can see there would be a chain running from this, like running from that to right there, potentially, just like we have in this case over here. All right, what other fun things do we have? Angry Cat. That looks like plate, and I'll bet you if we deploy our magnet, yep. So that's plated steel or something ferrous. What is that? Huh, weird. I don't understand what's going on there. Wichita Plantation, huh? Just a little pin. Let's clear some of these out of here. If I can hold things. Oh, it's AAA Patrol Services. Oh, here's another. Oh, okay. PGA. So I'm not sure what these go on, but something related to golf, apparently. All right, let's see. Little old telephone. Stones missing. You can always tell when you've got low quality costume because the stones are glued in. This was one that I thought might be good, but it looks like it's just maybe plate. I don't know what that mark means. I don't know if that's a mark or if somebody tested it, maybe. Weird. But I think that's just plate. ATS, you can see this is going to be plate. It's not super well made. It's kind of got a... And if you watch my videos, you know what I'm going to say. You see that sort of rough look that is a little filled in? That's the look you get with gold plate on a lot of these pins, where it's kind of, I don't know, softened in a way, if that makes any kind of sense. As opposed to, well, if I... Like, so this one is clearly plate. You can see that sort of look. This one is not so clearly plate. See the big difference there between how kind of like the little rough is and the real smooth is? And this guy, I would tend to think is like a low carat gold probably. What does it say? MPO, Fraternity Home Protection, Non Nobis Solum. That looks very much like it could be gold. But if it is, I think it's going to be low carat. Looks like it's old too. And there's a couple ways that I would say that it's old. And when I mean old, I mean like 1800s. One is that there's you see how the pin extends out past the shield here? That's an old style. Most of the more modern pins after, like 1900s and so, the pin didn't extend past. And then, of course, we don't have a safety catch, which became pretty much standard in the early 1900s to use these safety catches. So if that one is actually gold, I'm going to have to go down to the pawn shop most likely and use the XRF machine to determine what kind of gold it actually is. We will test it with acid at the end of this video, but odds are it won't come up as positive for gold, even if it is like a low carat. Wilson CC. This looks like it's probably plate. Now this black doesn't necessarily preclude it from being gold. I found a number of pieces that actually are 10 karat gold that have this on it from when they attach the pin to it. But that kind of roughness that you see there is what would make me think maybe that's at best gold to fill. We can do a quick test on it though. Ooh, little cobra. Got a buddy who's gonna want that. Might be silver too. Love it. All right, let me put that in a safe place. All right, we saw this earlier. Little pewter maybe? Oh yeah, there it is. Weaver Scopes by Sid Bell, 74. Would you look at that? That is a pretty neat little bit of American firearms history. We'll set that one aside here too. All right, we got a little, Concord. Have ourselves a little Concord moment. Though I'm thinking this one is, steel. What do we got here? Enamel. It's like it's a metal, only as a pin. Not high quality. Lay it flat so it's clear. Yeah, I'm not sure what that one is. Maybe it has a military connection. Here's a little, what is this? Little like pick, like a war hammer kind of a deal. Not high quality. I don't know what that is. All right. ATC. Do we have any markings? Hey, looks like we have something there. What does it say? XX. All right, so that's a gold fill mark, which is useful to know. There's a lot of different marks that actually indicate gold fill, and that is one of them. Girl Scouts. Also probably gold fill. Let's see here. We open this up. What does that say? Sterling. That's cool. So we've got some, looks like probably vermeil. It looks like gold over sterling. That's very neat. We'll set that in a silver pile. All right, what else do we got here? Presidential Academic Fitness Award. I'm still bitter about that. I wasn't flexible enough as a kid to win the blue. be prepared. Little Boy Scout pin, I guess. What we got here? 15 years selective service. That looks sterling. Yeah, it is. All right. Little ship's wheel here. Definitely brass. Kind of cool, though. I like it. Ah, Lions. What is this from? 63. 100% attendance. And this back does not belong on there. I don't know why that's there. These Lions pins are sometimes fill. Once in a great while, they'll be gold. But for the most part, they're just plate. Well, arrow, that looks like sterling, doesn't it? I bet that is. Throw that in our little pile there. UAW, there we go. I have yet to find any precious metal union pins. I'm not sure if they exist or not. All right, and then the very last thing, the other thing that could theoretically be gold. Wilson Junior College honor. Oh, that's a Greek pin. It does not look like gold. You see that sort of rough look? It's probably gold fill. Now this little bit right here could be gold. That's added to it, but I'm thinking not so much. But you know what we do have? We do have this little bit right here. Let's see how much gold our 45 bucks got us. All right. That is 3 grams, 3.116 it says here. But 3 grams at, oh, what is gold now? It's crazy town, isn't it? It's way up there. So what is it, like 94 gram? 94 times 3 times, so $94 a gram for gold, I think, last I checked. And then times 3, because it's 3 grams, times 0.416, because it's 10 karat, equals, so, you know, we doubled our money, more or less, in terms of current gold prices being just so dang high. Let's go ahead and set up and do a little bit of testing real quick. Okay, we're set up, and what were we going to check? We're going to check this this pin, this 50-year pin might be. We'll just go ahead and give it a real good long line. We're gonna go fairly deep, as was requested. That doesn't look very gold-like to me, though. What we're gonna try this one, this old one, which is probably low karat, but maybe it's 10. We'll see. I would guess it's probably more like 9 karat if it's anything. All right, there, and then we were gonna try this one. Looks okay, but I think it's probably just gonna be gold fill at best, or maybe brass. There we go. And then I guess while we're doing it, we might as well go ahead and do this one right here. I don't think it's good, but at least it has someone's initials on it, so maybe. All right. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our 10 karat test acid. I'm gonna do a dot, a dot. All right, so now what we're looking for is we're looking to see if these disappear. It kind of looks like all of them are. So I don't think we have any 10 karat here. Yep, which isn't too big of a surprise. I think this one is going to be low carat, but of course I don't have any sort of low carat test acid, so we'll have to go ahead and wait on results for that one. All right, I'm going to clean this up, and then I'm going to actually do a little bonus. I did get down to the XRF machine the other day, and I know I have regulars who like to watch these videos, so if you're a regular and you've been wondering about a few of the other things that needed to be retested, just stay on the video. All right, so this is just some stuff here that I wanted to do some follow-ups on. People have requested double checks on certain things. So this little bracelet, if you recall from a recent video, is in fact 14 karat gold. So this 50-cent bracelet was good to go. We are at 14 karat with that one. We have a few oddities. So these are, I found the rest of the set, and I'll do a video on it if anyone's interested. They're like children's silverware sets, and they're just adorable. They are plate, and I had thought that they were solid because that's what the XRF machine said, but they're not. They actually definitely are plate. You can see on the new one that I got where the plate is worn through. Now, I will say that if you are using an XRF machine for some reason, that one of the things that I've now learned that's definitely new information for me is that this plate can fool the machine. It will say that these pieces are actually solid when they are definitely not. But as a clue for them being plated, different places will come up as different percentages. So like this one came up as pretty consistently 70%, but the one that was worn came between 70% and like 50% silver content. And I think that's probably a clue if you're using an XRF machine that one of these pieces is in fact plated. And I think that's what's going on with these two spoons. These ones come up as like 60% silver fairly consistently in certain spots, but then they'll be like 75% and they'll be like 90%. So I think whatever's going on with these, they are plated. I don't know what the marking means. But once I found the second one to be able to use both of them on the machine, they helped me to understand a little bit of that. What's that, Fred? Yeah. Can you go put them on?
I put it on my boots.
Oh, okay. So you're ready to go for your run? Yeah. Sorry, I have a 6-year-old who's going to go practice her cross country. And then this one, you know, I mentioned this one at one point, and it came out at 85%, which is actually correct as it turns out, because the sword here, that little sword mark right there, indicates, I want to say it's at least 833 silver, and I think that's Danish. So if anyone can tell me what this means, NCCC, I can say that it is an old Danish silver spoon. It's about 85% silver, but the mark here, that little sword mark, indicates that it's at least 83.3% silver, which is interesting that it is actually, you know, what it advertises to be. All right, so the rest of our little gold bits, which we were concerned about, well, these two are like gold fill. So this one and this one they're gold fill. They're not solid gold. And they come up as a very low carat, which indicates that they're actually gold fill, which is a shame, but you know, can't win them all. We still did pretty good on this one, if you recall, because this is in fact 14 karat, and that one was in this same lot. So we came out okay. And this one is kind of interesting for me because this is probably the nicest one of these that I've ever seen that was not marked, but also fill. And this one is just, you know, it was just a nice old pin for whatever this purpose was, Carpe Diem. Now these were weird, and you're gonna have to go back a little further in the video for these. These cufflinks came up as 15% gold. So they're not even like, I mean, if you called it any kind of carat, I forget what it would be, but it's really low. And I don't really know what's going on with them. I think they just put some gold in there to make it so they wouldn't really tarnish up much, as near as I can tell. Or maybe maybe they were just made out of like melted down gold fill, possibly. Maybe somebody had some gold fill bits and they just melted them down together and made these. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, and if anyone can tell me what's going on with these cufflinks, I would really like to know. But they came out as 15% gold, which is not a whole lot. And the rest was effectively brass. It was mostly copper. So, all right, that will finish off this video. I hope you enjoyed this content, and I hope, especially with the follow-up here, that you can use this information to go out and find yourself some treasure. Have a great day.
Like this, I've been Thomas.